How to choose the right estate agent for you in Billericay. Picking the wrong agent can cost you time, effort, and sometimes money. So it's so important that you choose the right agent for you to help you with not just your sale, but your overall move. Because obviously, unless it's a probate case or where you aren't buying a property, aren't moving anywhere, and it's just a sale, it's always about the overall move. How are they going to help you from right at the start, right to the day you move into your new property? That is so, and it's so important. So I'm going to be running through some of the things to look out for when you're speaking to agents to help you discover who is going to be the best agent for you. So the first is making sure they are an expert in your local market. It's so important. When they're valuing properties, when we're valuing properties as agents, we need to know everything about the local area, the current house prices, the price per square foot of the properties, also when we're then talking about moving through to when it's on the market, speaking to potential buyers, viewers, how are we selling the property, how are we selling the area that you live in, what's the really important things that we should be covering, and without knowing the local market, if they know nothing about it, then we can't cover that, and that will have an impact. So that it is so important, and making sure that they understand everything about the market. Another thing that will come down to personal preference of what you prefer, but what certainly from the way that I work as an agent, it's around the service quality rather than quantity. A lot of agents work with a whole load of, particularly traditional agents, a whole load of clients, which means their time is more split. Now, as a local and an independent and personal agent, I limit my time, limit the amount of clients I work with to just 8 at one time. So I don't go above that number, so that my time can be split correctly, and the correct amount of attention can be given to each of my clients to make sure that they are getting the best possible service throughout the whole process and the help that they actually need. People's homes are their most important and most often biggest asset that they have, and so they really do need the help, the correct help, when they're looking to sell that property. So that's what I look to do. In terms of limiting the amount of clients, so that I actually have the time to help my clients. Another thing to look out for is around the communication and availability. When you're putting your home on the market, the last thing you want to do is just not hear anything for several weeks sometimes, not be able to get hold of the agent, which is really can be incredibly frustrating. So that is something that you really want to be looking out for. How often are they going to call you? Will they do a weekly call every single week to tell you what is going on, even if you haven't had a viewing? Okay, what's happened this week and what we're doing next week to improve it? That's, for example, something that I do with all my clients. And as I say, how available are they going to be? Can you get direct contact with them? For instance, all my clients have my mobile number, can get me on WhatsApp, on a group chat, so can get very fast and quick answers. Can you get that from your agent? Because that can help reduce the stress. When you know what's going on, you know what's happening, and your agent is available to talk to, it can help reduce the stress. And the other massive thing to look out for is their marketing approach. As well as the price, making sure a property is priced correctly, the marketing of the property is one of the two most important elements when a property is going on the market. What is their marketing strategy? What are they going to do? Is it a case of they're going to take the photos, going to put it on the portals, and then just go sit back and wait for a buyer to find it? Or are they going to be proactive? Is that their marketing approach? Are they going to be proactive? Are they going to use channels like social media, like direct mail, their network as well of agents? For instance, they're just 3 things that I do for all my properties. And when I say social media, I mean social media advertising. Are they going to do that for your home, get the maximum amount of eyeballs on it? And as I say, the network, obviously being a part of Keller Williams, over 250 agents in the UK, share it out to them and their networks as well. So are you getting that exposure, those maximum amount of eyeballs? Because that gives you the best chance of selling quickly, but also for the most amount of money. And that's really what you want to be looking at. Have you got a multi-channel approach, not just put it on the property portals and wait? And what sort of marketing in terms of the photography? Are they doing video tours, drone shots? Is all of that being included? Because again, that's when someone first shows their interest, when they see the photos, the videos. You need that to be of the highest quality as well. So that's another big thing to talk to the agent a lot about, is their marketing approach and how they're going to sell your home. And then I also just wanted to cover some of the, I guess, more red flags to try and, I think, avoid when you're speaking to agents. And it's, as I said, coming back to one of the previous points around communication, it's when, if there's poor communication or limited availability, you don't want that. It would just increase the stress for you when you're going through that process of trying to sell. If you get a sense they don't really know the area, that can sometimes not be great for you. No clear marketing strategy. If there is no clear idea of what they're going to do in terms of the marketing, the channels they're going to use, why they're important, how they're going to benefit your home, who the target audience is, if they can't go through all of that, then that you're not giving yourself the best chance of selling for the most amount of money, because you need an agent that knows that before they even come to see you, and then can talk you through it and explain it. And the last thing I think I'd say as well is that looking at unrealistic prices. You know what you think your home is worth, what probably a realistic price is, and what you don't want is an agent just putting an unrealistic price just to win the listing because it's for the most amount of money, because all that's going to do in the future is impact you negatively, because you're priced out of the market, so you'll just be sitting on the market and then we'll have to slowly reduce, which doesn't look good. The better way is to price it correctly, either at the market price or slightly below, to get the most amount of people interested straight away in the first couple of weeks of listing, get loads of viewings in, get multiple parties interested with offers, and that's always the best approach, rather than pricing out the market. So be aware of I guess unrealistic prices being thrown around just to win listings, because it can really impact your sale over the longer term. So that's some of the things to be looking out for when speaking to agents, and also some of the red flags to avoid. But if you have any questions, if you'd like to find out about how we work and help homeowners in Billericay with the sale and overall move, their property move, feel free to send us a message and we'll be happy to help.